Well, just because the holidays are looking a little different this year doesn't mean you can't have a great celebration. A Point of Grace Christmas streams on the CBN Family app. You can watch that, plus many other holiday favorites, whenever you want, wherever you want. Just download the CBN Family app to your phone, to your tablet, or your favorite smart TV device. And while the virus has prevented Point of Grace from touring, they've still been busy. In addition to their upcoming Christmas special, they have written a beautiful book. It's called How You Live, and in it they share the lessons they've learned about life and how they're passing those lessons on to the next generation.
The hugely successful singing group Point of Grace has been at the forefront of contemporary Christian music for more than 25 years. In addition to making their signature sound, the group has also penned 11 books. Their latest one covers a wide array of life issues, from parenting to the power of words to the fear of failure. In How You Live, each member passes down lessons she's learned through her career, family, and faith that will strengthen and encourage us all.
Well, joining us now via Skype are the members of Point of Grace, and we welcome all of you back to the program. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Well, listen, I want to talk about the book in a moment, but first of all, tell us about your new Christmas special.
Oh, yes, we're so excited about it, and it is really timely. You know, we didn't know when we were making this special and taping it, the very first Point of Grace Christmas special, that we would be in this season of COVID and not being able to tour. So this is a way that our fans that are used to, you know, making Point of Grace Christmas concerts a part of their Christmas season and their tradition. This is a way that they can still do that by getting our DVD that we just did. So we're so excited about it.
Love it. Love the fact that we can get a hold of it and watch it at our convenience as the holiday ensues. Well, your most recent book, How You Live, you say your own children were the inspiration behind it. It's kind of fun as you're reading it to hear about your families. We don't always know all of the members of the family or what's going on with your children, but how have your children made impact on your lives?
Well, they reflect reality. Yeah, it's like looking in a mirror, and sometimes you have those days you look real pretty, and some days you don't look so pretty. You know what? They're truth tellers. They're truth tellers, and so I have a little 8-year-old, and he's at that age where, you know, he's a rule follower, right? And if mommy doesn't follow the rules, whether it's fastening my seatbelt or going over the speed limit, they're truth tellers. But I think they help us stay in check. They really do.
Well, Shelley, in one of the essays you wrote on the topic of integrity, and you highlighted your husband. How does he demonstrate integrity for you?
You know, he has been just sort of my rock in the marriage. And, you know, they always say opposites attract. And sometimes the girls joke that that's true in our marriage, that he's the nice one and I'm the mean one. But truly, he just has modeled integrity in his job for so many years and working in the music business. And, you know, sometimes he would come home and tell me stories from work, and I would be just, truthfully speaking, I would be like, well, you need to do this, and, you know, that wasn't fair, and you need to make it right. And he would just always have this calm demeanor and just, you know, be like, take the high road, you know, what comes around goes around, and just, I'm going to fully trust God to take care of our family and not try to just stomp on people to climb the ladder, so to speak. And, you know, that's even true today. I mean, he works for an amazing company here in Nashville, and during the pandemic, where music has really been affected, and a lot of people, most people that I know, including myself, aren't getting a paycheck now. He is still employed and has a job, and we have insurance, and, you know, it's a blessing. And so he always was just like, God's going to take care of us. I don't, you know, have to try to claw my way to the top. And so, I learned a lot about patience and integrity from him, for sure.
Yeah, we're all living with Shelley Davis.
Yeah, the girls are this is actually my house, so they're living with me right now. No, not really.
Well, Denise, you say that your essay called God's Tone of Voice began with the text that you sent your son once. Tell us what happened.
Yes, well, I had sent him a text about he had texted me saying, hey, I'm going to stop by somewhere. And I just texted back, okay. And I put a period at the end of the okay. had no idea that putting a period on my text meant that it sounded to him like, okay. And so anyway, which I didn't mean, I was just saying, okay, but I was probably cooking dinner or something. And it just, as we laughed about it later, it really, God just shot it into my head that sometimes for years, I had misread his tone of voice to me when I read his word. And it's been a beautiful picture of my growth spiritually. Just, I grew up, I've known Jesus since I was 6. And, but sometimes I would hear things that would say, I'm watching you, you better do this right, instead of saying, if you will follow my ways, I love you. I've got great plans for you. And so it just has been a new walk for me. Probably over the last 10 years, God has kind of slowly done that with me.
Mm-hmm. And Leigh, you wrote about a regret of yours from your teenage years. What do you want readers to take away from that?
I just think, I think if we as parents and influencers in our communities and our homes, I think showing God's love and forgiveness and mercy surpasses anything in our lives. It shows up in every aspect of conflict where we can forgive. We have an opportunity to forgive. We have an opportunity to show mercy. And because God's love in us, it allows us to do so. And I believe with all my heart that that lesson that I can pass down to my children just very well may be a lesson that helps somebody know who Jesus is. And he is our Savior that saved us. And through his blood, we all have his forgiveness, every single one of us. So we can have regret, but no, his forgiveness has washed it all away.
There are so many rich subjects addressed in the book. Shelley, do you have a favorite?
It's funny. I do think the one that I wrote about my husband is one of my favorites. And also just any of them that had to do with our children. I think just reminding moms out there that feel like day in and day out, am I really doing anything? To really remember to not get on the hamster wheel and to keep your focus that my main job as a mom and a believer is to pass down the story of Jesus. And I need to do that in every way I can. And whether it's, taking our kids to the park or taking them to the grocery store, if you look around, there's always a lesson where you can talk about God in your home and in your instances and in your family and your circumstances. And so just to remember that's our biggest job. We don't have to raise the next NFL, receiver or the next, whatever it is. But I think that the most important thing is just to pass that story along. And if we guard their heart and steward their hearts, then we've been a parenting success.
Well, one of the things that I think people love about all of you is your realness, and you share that in the book so wonderfully. The book is called How You Live. It's available nationwide. Wonderful gift for someone for Christmas. And don't forget that you can watch A Point of Grace Christmas by getting the CBN Family app. Ladies, wonderful to see you, and happy holidays to all of you. Thanks for being with us today.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Bless you, you too.